Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Dalton at Daltonians TFs, and today we're taking a look at a figure that I've been really wanting to get, and I've had him for a while now, and that's going to be the Transformers Generations homage to the Robots in Disguise and IDW Sky-byte. As you can see, I do not have a display stand for him at this time, so he's kind of derpy looking on the ground. Just looks like a very sad and depressed shark. But other than that, a lot of really nice detail through. I wish they would have painted this at least blue and matched this up here, but thankfully we have Takara coming out with their more accurate version of Sky-byte. I don't really like this shade of blue on the shark head. But as you can see, there is a ton of molded detail all throughout here. Some of it they didn't paint, like right in here, and some of this right here. All of this right here is silver paint. This is just gray plastic. Again, silver paint, yellow paint, gray plastic. A little bit of yellow up here for, looks like a little machine gun or something. And you got these, then you got the dorsal fins, the pectoral fins. And then you got the tail fin, which it does have a spinning gimmick, and you can launch whatever was in his tail at you. And these fins can move forward a little bit. I don't know why. I mean, it's mainly for robot mode. You can open and close the mouth, but when it's closed like that, it looks just really, really derpy. I usually just keep it open like that. Now, as for the transformation, he is a bit of a shell former, and I know a lot of people do not like it. Let's go ahead and launch that missile off. But, I like it. I mean, let's just get on to it. So, what you want to do first is pop these two sides out, and they will lift up and split apart away from the body of the shark. They'll then allow you to come back here, rotate this out of the way. Same with this one. You also want to open the mouth of the shark, and this just becomes a jumbled mess. But you just straighten out what will become the legs. And you rotate these out of the way like so. They're on little hinges or swivels. Rotate these fins down. Rotate this little panel right here down. There we go. Bring the shoulders down and around. Same on the side down. You want to bring these pieces of shark shell out of the, move these arms out of the way so you can rotate this all down. These will fold over, creating that winged kind of backpack look that Sky-byte has, or you just leave them out like that. I think it looks better like that. I want to bring up the head, which is on a hinge. I almost said swivel. But then for the shark head, you want to just rotate this up and down. You want to flip the nose of the shark around, and then you get this little piece. Split the legs apart, and rotate out the feet. Get the arms figured out. Now for here, you want to swing this way, bring it around. Then the hand right here, you just push on these little bits right here, which are the tips of his fingers. Bring out his hand and close up the forearm, which it's a little weird looking. And just get them all straightened down and situated. Now you can have the legs here either out or folded up like they were in shark mode. I prefer to have them out. It just gives them more of that bulky look, but rotate them back like that. You can usually get this guy to stand, but I'll get into that here in a minute. But there you can see we got Sky-byte, and you want to close the claw. There we got Sky-byte in his robot mode looking really awesome. I know a lot of people are giving this guy a lot of flack, but I still do really enjoy this figure. we go. Where's the camera up here? Now, as you can see, a lot more of the yellow has come through here. A lot more yellow in this gray. And some gunmetal right down here. Real quick for articulation, let's go into it. There is no ball joint on the head. He's always kind of looking down, which I do find a little problematic, but you can just rotate him up and lean his legs forward. Just kind of doing that kind of hero stance where he's looking more straight on. His eyes are molded in red plastic, but they aren't light piped. It does have, let me actually zoom in here instead of bring it. He does have painted teeth and kind of a goldish yellow painted face, which is very accurate to how he looks in the cartoon. Can't see he's got his little spark crystal or TSUNAMI blaster right there with the little Predacon symbol. Then you get this little kind of butterfly wing thing going on, which if you want to, you can even make it look like the original cartoon version. Just fold these out like so. I think I'm going to display them like that and then rotate these fins up and out of the way like that. That looks a lot more like the show to me. And you want to rotate these little bits out. Sorry about that. But yes, again, his head swivels. His arms are on a swivel up and down, all shoulders. Then again here on a hinge. He's got a hinged kind of bicep curl, which it's meh. I don't really care for the curling syndrome, but I mean, if they have to do it, then you know, they could have done a ball joint or something to, or at least put something here for the wrist, like one of those little ball joints that stick out and have the fist pointing up, and then you can rotate it because it's got one of those little, I don't know how to describe it. It's got like a larger slot for the ball joint. You can move his thumb. I mean, that's something, right? No? Okay. He's got the same thing over here. No, well, he does have a bicep swivel, but it's a little bit tight. And he does bend his elbow, and you can still use that spinning tail gimmick here. But it doesn't lock, so it's always just, you know, never stays in one position, which kind of irritates me and some other people, but I'm not going to make too much of a big deal about it. He does not have a waist swivel due to the transformation. He does have movement here at the hips. He's got a thigh cut. And he has a joint here at the knee. But if you try to move it here, well, that's not the best example because that one's actually staying this time. If you try to move it too much, okay, that one's loose enough. Okay, so much for that example, but you can see back here, the legs are really hollow, and they're just strips of plastic for the joints. At least with mine, they're, you know, staying in place. So, and now see right there, it just will come untabbed. These little tabs right here are just weak, and they're a little bit too short to hold on to the leg. But as for the feet, they are unhinged in and out. So, but as I was saying, you know, he's not as bad as a lot of people are making him out to be. You know, that's my opinion, though. I mean, to each their own, I guess. But I really like how well he turned out for, you know, finally having him after Robots in Disguise. What would be interesting is getting him as a repaint as Cybershark, because he was originally repainted from Cybershark, so it'd be interesting to get him as Cybershark. But the one repaint we do have coming out, it's from Takara. It's the Cloud line. They're doing Hell Warp, which is an homage to Hellscream, but as Skywarp, so they're finishing the Seekers by doing that, so that's a little bit interesting. But, you know, I would compare him with the original Sky-byte. Sadly, I don't have him. I would like to own him someday, along with many other of the Robots in Disguise figures, because I really like the looks of all those figures. But real quick, as a size comparison, let's go ahead and bring in his wave mate, and that being Roadbuster, who is shorter and a lot simpler than he is. So you can see it's a little bit bigger than Roadbuster, which I don't mind that. So that's pretty much all there is to say about this guy. You know, he's a good figure. I won't say he's great. He is a good figure, and I wouldn't recommend you go and get him now. I mean, if you want to, go ahead, pick him up. If you're a fan of Sky-byte, Robots in Disguise, pick him up. See how he does. If you want to display him in shark mode, go ahead. But you need a Tamashii or Figma stand in order to do so. Which, 3 Tamashii stands, I think, will cost you about $15, is what I heard somewhere. But if you want to get a Figma stand, you have to buy a Figma figure, so. But yeah, like I said, he's a good figure, not great. You know, there could have been improvements made. So, that's pretty much all there is to say. So this is Madalton at Daltonians TFs. Check out my Facebook page, which is down in the description below, along with my Twitter page, which I can put actually both of those links right there. So that's it. Well, actually, no, scratch that. I'll just put the links in the description below. So this is Dalton at Daltonians TFs, and I will catch you in my next review.